Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Alex Wong. Alex is the ideator and problem solver at Digicert and the host of AZ2 Talks podcast. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Alex Wong. Alex, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Very, very excited to be here today.
Alex, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with? That inspired you to get all these many titles. What you have: ideator, problem solver, and the host of AZ Talks, and probably many other things you didn't even put on your LinkedIn profile. So
No shortage of titles, right? I think we are who we define ourselves by, and this is just something that it's a mouthful. And I really could tell you individually all the different roles, but I'd like to leave it at problem solver. I feel like that's the most important trait that I can bring as far as adding value. I like to solve problems.
Who inspired you?
Oh man, the list goes on and on. I think, there's just a lot of direct folks in my line of sight being with the same company, that basically same business for about 16 years. I've got a bunch of folks that I directly work with, mentors, a long list of folks that I can think are inspirators. But from as far as like public figures, everyone, the one big one, Tony Robbins is a huge one that I would say has an impact. And because of the different things that I'm into with investments, Ray Dalio, Jim Kawasaki, a lot of folks that you probably are familiar with, Jim Quick, names that are classics. So I find myself in this habit of just scouring YouTube and looking for motivational conversations.
Wonderful. So, Alex, wearing many hats and being a problem solver, I'm sure there are certain things you learned. What are the mistakes to avoid? So, my question is, what are the top 3 mistakes to avoid to become a problem solver mindset?
Wow. Yeah, that can be a paragraph, a book, a novel in its own. 3 mistakes I tried my best to kind of think through. And it starts off with just trying to do too much on my own. I think a lot of times, wearing multiple hats, when I first started off being an entrepreneur, even being in my corporate job, it was just trying to take on too much, right? Thinking that I had the right ideas, that I knew the answer, and that, I had read something in a book that worked and thought, let me just make this work. And a lot of the times doing too much on your own will not get you much fans and friends. And so I learned quickly that while you can do things on your own, I think there's an old adage that says, if you want to go further, work with others. If you want to go faster, work alone. And so I'd much rather go further than faster in that sense.
Wonderful. That's one mistake to avoid. 2 more.
2 more. The second one, the other side of it is trusting too much in others. And so I quickly went the other way where I started a ton of partnerships, and almost every project that I have has some partnerships included. And, at the very early stages, as I was learning, I just trusted so much in others. And so I've learned and I've been burned. I've had some challenging relationships that have taken place. But at the end of the day, I think it's gotten me where I'm at. So there's that balance of, number one, don't do too much on your own, but number 2, don't trust too much into others. So that's the happy medium you want to look for.
Yeah. Oh, what's the third one?
The third one, it's a mistake to avoid. It is just being, to me, it's if you are selfish with your success, there is really no reason to keep that to yourself. If you've done something right, and if you know how to do something, like get out there and tell people, because more than likely you'll learn more and it'll grow. And if you ever think that you're an expert and you don't need to share your success, I think that's a foolish mindset. So look in the mirror. If you ever think that you're an expert in anything, look around, share your success, and I promise you'll get a lot more back.
Yeah, wonderful. This is a good one. I love the last one, by the way. So Alex, while you are pretty young guy, and you probably done so many things by wearing so many hats, and I'm sure you failed one or two, at least a couple of times. I want you to share your greatest failure story. What did you learn from it, and how did you recover from that?
Oh man, I love that question, the greatest failure story. There's just so many things that I can put into this category. I will tell you that there was a time where I was in charge of corporate events, and literally responsible for large events that had $2 million budgets with 1,000 attendees. I had to work with celebrities, bringing in performers and artists, and just kind of, again, my mistake will go right back to the number one lesson I learned, which was I just thought that I knew everything. And so I wanted my hands all over every event, every part of the agenda. every part of the day, which was, great because I was able to make an imprint as far as preparing people. But because I didn't kind of give the power to those that were going to eventually be in charge, I got sick the 2 days before that event, like just completely deadly sick, stomach, couldn't get out of bed. And, the amount of pressure and stress that put on my team that was trying to execute without, being fully engaged, I learned that I need to get people involved early. I need to get them, bought in. I need it to be their own plans, or, things can happen, and you learn the hard way. So I'm trying to do too much. It was something that I learned the hard way many, many times, I would say, but that was a big one because it was such a big event and so many attendees placed there. But, they pulled it off. So the other part is trusting the others is the end of the day.
Yeah, wonderful. That's amazing, amazing story. Enough about failures, enough about your mistakes. Let's just switch the side and talk about your successes. So promise before I ask the question, you're going to give us the best one, because I'm only asked for 3 and we asked for a bonus. So what are the top 3 secrets of your success? Just give. We are greedy, so give us the best one.
Yeah, the best one. I think this is there's no secrets. That's the thing about what I'm going to say. These are not secrets. These are, everybody knows them, but you just need to do them. Goal planning, right? Planning, having goals, setting goals. It's the number one thing. If I work with anybody, if I talk to you, whether it's in corporate, in my life coaching, in podcasting, even as we're preparing for this discussion, right? Like, you have to have a goal of what you're trying to do and to set that goal and really live that out. Otherwise, you find yourself not knowing where to go, what to do, what drives you, all of a sudden you're not as happy. So that's got to be number one. Set your goals. Number 2. So easy ones, right? So the other piece of it is find a mentor. Again, no secrets here. I think all of my success can be attributed to somebody or multiple somebodies in my past, whether it be immediate, and some people don't even know the impact that they've made in my life. And so now, that's the goal, to reach out to these people and let them know that they've made an impact. But finding a mentor, something you don't know how to do, there's really no reason why you can't figure out anything in today's social networks, online, your peer networks. The 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon comes into play now, and everybody can take advantage of it, because LinkedIn and Facebook, and this is such a connected world where I think it's the 3 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Like, I can find anybody that's 2 connections away, and you just have to fully take advantage of that, right? Whether it be a mentor, a colleague, someone you're looking to hire, take advantage of your network.
One more.
Last one is actually right back. I'm a very straightforward and simple person. You'll find out, Siddique. It is actually back to number 1 and reconfiguring your plans. I think it's one thing to have a plan, and it's one thing to make sure you have goals, but it's foolish to think that you're not going to have things hit you, and that you won't be able to, not everything's going to go according to plan. The goal is to make sure that the process and the journey on your way to what you want to get accomplished is going to be fulfilling, because at the end of the day, you definitely want to be able to make, changes and be agile, and you still want to make sure you have your true north on where you want to go. So being able to be flexible and agile. So having a plan, number 1, finding people that can help you get to that plan is number 2. And then number 3, being ready to understand that you're going to learn and things are going to change and you're going to have to reconfigure your plan. So I would say those things alone right there have gotten me really far.
Yeah, reconfigure your plan. That's a key thing. The change is the only thing constant. So you keep adapting the change. COVID has started so many things. We never kind of stuck in for a whole year in home, but that's when now we've done it successfully. Many of them, So, Alex, if I ask you one more bonus success tip,
what do you got?
Go for it.
A bonus success tip. I think to the extent of as much as you can, I'm a true believer. And I mean, this is how I'm in front of you. It is just to let say yes, put yourself out in the universe, be you, what's the key term today? Just unapologetically you, be you, because there are people that you may not be a fit for, and they may not find you, and that you may not make it to that TV show or that podcast. But if you be you, the right people will find you, the right projects will find you. And you'll be much more passionate because it's you, instead of trying to pretend to be someone else. So that would be my bonus if I'd leave you with.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. The people who are watching this right now, how they can support you?
You know what? It's much more about how I can support them. I'm not asking for much. I don't need anything, but if I can help them, I think I try as best as I can through a podcast, right? At A2ZTalks.com. Taking a listen there, some of these tips that I'm talking about are really much there. What we've done is basically taken what I do when I work with individuals, whether they're a student, whether they're a professional, whether they're an executive, I help put them on kind of a path, and I don't have the expertise in what they do, but I can provide kind of the guidance. And my podcast tries to cover some of those key topics, and we move through different episodes. So the first one is Blueprint for Success, Goal Planning, Go Figure. So yeah, if you have a chance, check it out. Reach out to me. I just want to help. So legitimately, anything it is, if you want to have a chat, I'm open to that. So hopefully that's encouraging.
Yeah, if you're watching this and you want to learn from the young man, not from the old man like this, go check this out. A to Z Talks, a-z talks.com. That's the key part, because learning is never, you keep learning always be learning. Life is learning is forever. That's why you want to learn different perspective from the people who are actually doing it, not on talking about it. That's the key part.
Hey, I wouldn't be, I mean, you know what? Everything that you've done, I can't wait to be in your seat. I can't wait to interview the other folks that are doing it for the next generation. So thank you for kind of paving the way and providing us kind of this path and this opportunity and a platform. So thank you, Siddique.
So who is the ideal guest for your podcast? You never know, they might be watching,
It's funny because right now it's just me and my partner, and he's across the globe in Germany. And so I'm here in California in the Bay Area in Silicon Valley. So we have this unique dynamic that's between the two of us, but we're quickly going to see we need to talk to others. And so again, whether we cross over everything, cryptocurrency, real estate, investment, gamifying fitness, social networking, how to plan a romantic date, how to hang out with your friends during the pandemic. We just want to talk.
I need to listen to one of them, so I don't want to say which one.
Yes, please hell listen. And the beauty of it is that although I have 54 different episodes scripted out for the next year, I'd be happy to take input. And we've already moved things up and moved things forward because of things that people want to hear. And so it's all about like just learning. And when I get new topics, I personally get to learn a lot. I dig into them for the whole week, 2 weeks, and kind of get the background. And so yeah, I welcome, bring it. Tell me what you guys want to learn, and I'm happy to hear it.
Oh, good, very good. It's a very interactive thing. You're learning it together. You created an environment for that. A-z talks.com, folks. Check it out and listen to podcasts. Go on your gym, go and walk. Listen to the A-Z Talks. I'm going to try myself too, and I'm going to pick at least one, and not telling anyone which one I'm going to learn. However, I know you already gave a hint in this one. So, Alex, we are about to wrap up. I like to get a feedback or like a testimonial for being your guest experience on the show. Here is my question. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the Growth Hacking Secret Show?
You know what? This was so much fun. I loved it. It was something that was different. It was new. It was kind of an opportunity for me to be on the other side of the microphone and just be able to talk freely. And so you've done a wonderful job. The experience, the graphics, the whole waiting room platform. I think you're doing a wonderful thing here. So from my perspective, keep up the good work.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your kind words. Really appreciate it. Alex, what would you say as a final word?
You know what? Oof, this is tough. I would say, calling from my one of my top idols, stay curious and stay hungry is what I would say.
Stay curious and stay hungry.
Steve
With that, thank you so much. Yeah. Steve Jobs said, I just want to correct it. Stay foolish and stay hungry. Yeah.
Dang it. This is why I'm still learning, Siddique. This is why I'm still learning. But yes, thank you so much.
Yeah. And in fact, I live with that quote. That's why I remember this. So, Alex, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.